Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another exceptional episode of the Pitchside
Pitch
podcast. We're joined by Coach Jerry today and Sugar.
Nice.
What's up?
Munati.
Coach Jerry?
Nah, ngimnandi.
Hey man, ngakubona ugain complexion.
Ngakwazi ndoda.
Ngizwile bathi usebenzisa enye skin lightening cream. Ngenzakalani?
No, ayikho lento leyo.
Prepare ukuya America. Ufuna babone yellow bone mawufika America.
Nah, angisho we training at night and during the day we sleeping.
Yeah.
So ukuthi masifika ngale singabhazisiki. Sithole right.
Welcome to it, Coach Jerry. Another season, but this time you are off to the USA to go and play. And I mean, you are, first of all, we're the only African team that is going there to play in this tournament. How important is that?
Yeah, firstly, thank you guys for having me. Yeah, for us to be selected to be one of the teams, especially from Africa, to go to USA, it's an honor for us to be one of the teams that will be participating in that tournament. It's something that we've been longing for.
Yes.
If you could remember from the previous meeting, I once said we would love to see ourselves competing in a Club World Cup.
Yeah.
But here we are now. We are given an opportunity to go and test ourselves against other continents. There's about 3 different continents in that tournament.
Yeah.
Clubs from 3 different continents. The club from Asia, the club from Europe, and the club from North America. So it's a great honor for us to be part of such a big tournament.
Coach Jerry, why is this so important, especially for women's football on the African continent?
Yeah, look, it's very important, to gauge yourself, especially as Africans, in terms, especially on club level, to gauge yourself and see how far are we when we're comparing ourselves with the other continents, and it will also motivate the girls to show them that the younger ones that are coming to say, if I dream big, my dreams will definitely come true. Look at Mamelodi Sundowns ladies, they're given that opportunity to go and compete there. So this alone, it's going to be a motivation to the young and upcoming girls.
Sugar, you played in a Club World Cup before. When you went there, I mean, in terms of the level of the game, how much different was it from playing, for example, CAF Champions League, playing in the PSL as well, playing at home?
Yeah, playing in the Club World Cup was something really special. As difficult as it is there, because there is a totally different kind of ball game. I'd like to believe that we had the quality to compete. Like Coach Jerry was saying, that the time difference always plays a role, because the time you play the game is the time you're supposed to be going to sleep. So the body needs to adjust and be prepared for the transition in terms of the times between Africa and the US. So the difficult part of playing there was that it's really top talent that you get to experience, but that gives you an opportunity to see how far you are and whether you are capable of competing against the best in the world, especially now that you know that you're champions in your continent. It becomes very easy for people to become complacent, but I'm really happy that the coach has already started preparing the team in terms of time adjustments to playing in the night, so the team gets used to being prepared for such times when you get there.
Coach Jerry, take us through those preparations. What have you had to do differently to be able to prepare your team for the trip going to the USA?
Yeah, look, I sat down with the technical team and the management of the team, and we've realized that when we play in the US, surely the mind back here home, it will be at night. So we have decided to say sometime during the day, we let the players sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, for the entire day. Then we start training late, around about 2 a.m. in the morning, so that the body can just adjust, So basically that's what we've done in terms of preparing for a tournament.
How do you find it waking up to prepare a session for 2 a.m.? I mean, I remember when Sugar once came back and were training at those odd hours.
Yeah, it's really difficult. It's really difficult for the body to adjust. As much as the body is used to be awake during the day. So we're forcing the players and everyone to sleep during the day, so that come later we can try and adjust. We're finding it very difficult, but it is a situation that we find ourselves in. We just got to adapt to it.
Sugar, as a player, as a former player, how difficult was it to adapt to day and night, swapping the training around to those early morning and late night sessions?
It was very difficult because by the time you have to wake up and go and train is actually the same time that you just finished talking to people back home.
Yes.
They're going to sleep, and you have limited time to actually rest as a player because throughout the night you are busy in contact with people back home, and by the time you finish the conversation, you've got 2 hours to rest, and already you have to be up going for training. So it was really, really difficult, unexpected. We never got the chance to prepare like how Coach Jerry and the team are preparing now, to wake up at those odd hours and train. But eventually you get to understand the responsibility that you carry, and you have to sacrifice and make sure that as difficult as it is, as unusual as it is, you still have that responsibility to be professional and make sure that what is expected from you is done.
Coach Jerry, what opportunities does this type of tournament present to the players?
Yeah, there are a lot of opportunities. Most of the players they would always tell you that I want to be scouted, I want to play in Europe. I want to go out there and play with the best of the best. The opportunity is here for them to be scouted, to be seen by the so-called the top teams in Europe and the top teams maybe in Asia, So this is an opportunity for the players to go out there and showcase their talent. And if there's any top teams that are interested in the players, I think this is the right time for them to go shine on them.
Are you ready to let some players go?
Look, when the time is right and if good offers are coming,
yes,
definitely we're not going to hold on to our players. And if it's a good offer and it's a good team for the players, But like I'm a firm believer of saying we want to improve African women's football.
Yes.
So we want to keep our best in Africa. But if good offers are coming, we are willing to let them go.
To listen and let them go.
Yeah.
Coach Jerry, the opposition you're going to face, how much do you know about them? How much have you been able to just gather information on the opposition that you'll be facing?
Yeah, Neves, look, we did our level best to get a lot of information on this, on all these other three teams. But, as you know, our first game is going to be against the host, Kansas City. We're very fortunate to see most of their games.
Yeah.
And we know they've got one of the top strikers in the world in Temo Chamunga.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one who's from Malawi. They also got Williams, who's currently playing with US in the Olympics, So we got a lot of information about Kansas City. Also the team in Akobe from Japan. We also had a few opportunity to see their games in terms of how they play and in terms of how they approach the games. So we've got a lot of information on those two teams. Fortunately enough, we watch Atletico Madrid on a regular basis on our SuperSport TV to watch them. So on Atletico as well, we do have a lot of information on them.
Coach Jerry, how much planning then does go into such? I mean, if you go and you watch, let's say, those three teams, how much time do you dedicate to in your sessions to transfer the information that you've extracted from the videos, the information you've taken from your analysts and so forth, to give to the players, to set it up, to say we're going to the game and this is what we'll be facing?
Yeah, it requires a lot of time, of time. But, the most difficult part is the fact that you find now we are in season. We don't just have to focus more on the tournament. We also got a league that's going on. We've got different teams like you've seen 2 weeks back. We've played against University of Fort Hare, a team that really played a low block, and we also played last weekend. We've played Copper Bells, a team also that played low block. Now you've got to switch immediately this week to say now we're going to play against a team that plays an open game in Kansas City. So it requires a lot of things in terms of changing the players' mentality, and the approach that we are going to approach when we play against teams that play an open game. So basically the entire technical team plays a huge role in terms of encouraging the players to do well in our next game against Kansas City.
Is there something such as too much information being given to players?
Yeah, sometimes.
Information overload.
Sometimes we don't want to do that because you overload too much information to the players. At some point, players, they tend to forget their strength. We're now focusing more on our opponents. It's something that we once experienced. I think it was the first CAF Champions League,
yes,
where our focus, I think it was more on our opponents. And we've learned from that to say, look, as much as we're playing different teams, but we mustn't also forget about our strength. So which is something that I think we need to be very, very careful in preparing for this tournament. We've got to remember our strength and look at the weakness of the opponents and try and see if we can exploit those. But we mustn't forget it ourselves.
Yeah. Sugar, when you were playing, was there some times where you felt like this is a little bit too much information? Because a little bird told me, Khori, you were almost always at the back of the video sessions. And apparently,
yeah, sometimes as a player, you tend to want to be in your zone, and you want the opponent to worry about you instead of you worrying too much of the opponents. And at the same time, you don't want to be ignorant of the strengths of your opponents or their weaknesses. You need to be aware of where you can be able to shine and become the victor over your immediate opponent in that specific position. So information sometimes tends to be too much, and during the game we may plan a certain way and you find that the game requires you to operate differently. So it's very good that Coach Jerry also mentions that you don't want to focus too much on the opponent. You also need to give room to the players to also express themselves, because they've got the talent and they've got the ability to work out certain situations they may find themselves in.
Amazing. Coach Jerry, I have a friend in the US. I've asked him to give you this ginger concoction just so that your voice is nice, loud and clear, and the players can hear you, and you can come back victorious.
Don't worry, the voice will be sorted before we even get out of US. I think it was due to the game that we've played over the weekend. You saw how we battled to bounce back there, but I needed just to add a bit of energy to the players so that we can bounce back. But it's a promise that I make. The voice will be ready before we're jetting out of this country.
Yeah, and I can see you've lost weight, man. It's
stress, man. Stress. Are you thinking of this Kansas City? You're thinking of there is another team here at home. They want to do Babatlanka League. Kamo e bona handle re ke mathata man. Kamo o shebile Champions League gore go qualify abo mang ke tsamaya le bo mang. So
we man twe.
Ithata ntwe ngone.
Thank you very much, Coach Jerry. All the best in the US, and represent us well as you always do.
Now, we'll definitely do our best. We're one team that likes to say when we go into a boxing match, we're not just going out there to test waters, but we want to go there and fight. We want to go out there and give our best.
Danko is thank you.
Danko, thank you.
Pitchside podcast, we're still here with you, and we're now joined by Rama. Rama, welcome to the Pitchside.
No, thank you so much.
You well?
No, Kisha.
What glow and are you using the same skincare?
Give Vaseline.
Rama, you guys have been preparing for this trip to the USA. How difficult, or how different rather, has the training been in preparing for this trip to the USA?
Now, it's been difficult. It was not easy. I think the approach our coach towards preparation, it's going to be a different ball game. So. Or won't teach you on what to do, what to expect. I think it's a matter of grasp and make use of it.
Coach told us, Khori, you guys have been training at odd hours. 2 hours saying you see you. How are you finding the difference of training between Tsekhar and Lebohang?
As a player, you need to adjust. Whether odlala local or international, you just need to adjust. But I think one where Dr. Rena.
Yeah.
Because she's been telling us on our sleeping patterns on what to expect, and I think we need to take it from there. Yeah.
Sugar, going overseas and playing in these tournaments.
And she's played overseas.
And it exposes you to a different level altogether. Do you feel that you are fully prepared to face off against all the opposition that you guys will be playing against?
We really have an experienced team. I think maybe 60 or 70% of the girls in the team, we have that international experience. I think Eric Loyagwa is just a matter of us being united and working very hard for one another.
Because what I like the most is that the lot of individuals that are also in the national team,
Yes.
that gives them that opportunity to play international football.
Yes.
And they've done well throughout the years, participating in the Champions League, in
Yes.
the Women's AFCON, and still doing well at that level, because there you compete against players who play also in different leagues all over the world. So I agree with Rama saying that they've got an experienced team, and they're looking forward to also giving that platform to those who have not been exposed to this level. They bring in a lot of experience. You've got your Rama, you've got your Kolosa, you've got your Andile. They've been out there, they've played at the highest level. You've got your Andisiwe, who's also played overseas.
Yeah.
The list goes on and on and on. The captain, Zanel, has also played overseas. So she's right in saying that the experience in the team also gives them that confidence. The only thing required there is unity and oneness,
100%.
to understand that as much as you're playing against top teams all over the world, but you yourself as Mamelodi Sundowns are actually recognized globally, and
Yes.
other people also want to come to Mamelodi Sundowns. So I agree with
We've seen
Rama.
highlights reel of the flair, the beauty of South African football, and we've seen Rama pull some things as well
What to
there
say?
that let people. What's to say? What's your feeling on it? A lot of people speak about Hore, it's very disrespectful to the opponents, Maya, and so forth. What's your feel on it?
No, bolela nnete, if ball o tlo e dlala o focusitse hore ba bangwe ba reng,
Yeah.
you're not gonna enjoy it. And I think as South Africans, that kasi flavor, the by bitsang, I don't know the way by bitsang on
Showboating.
shugela wena lina la hao. So I think if you don't bring that sugar in the game, like when personally, like confidence how I think Rena as the players, we know already there are moments where like I feel like nka tshwara bolo ka ena like I follow, my confidence will come. But if ke tlo dlala in a way ya hore ke a choa, I will always make mistakes. But the moment I start ke thomo dribble, I think that's when like ke thomo ba sharp.
And the person talking about dribbling is actually a defender. so you
Uloladla bolo kwa
Yeah. No, but more teaming, I'm not playing as a defender. It's just that game plan they differ. Sometimes coach would say, okay, right back, but then other days he will say no, wing back.
Yeah.
Of which it means I must always be forward.
What are you looking forward to most?
Going to USA is just a matter of we must go there, not just to add number. We must show them what we are capable of as Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah.
They didn't just invite us by mistake.
Yes.
They saw something in us, and of which we have to show them exactly what they saw in us when they invited us.
Yeah. Amazing, Rama. All the best. We really do wish you guys well. Represent Africa, not just Mamelodi Sundowns, but
Yes.
Africa. And most importantly, it is a platform that we spoke to the coach about, Ari. Anyone can get scouted there, and at the right price, you might be jetting off again.
Abona, I think it's a great opportunity for other players internationally
Yeah.
to be scouted there. It's just a matter of bona but a game ya bona.
Yeah.
Now we've been there, we've done it, but now it's a matter of ba bangwe ba create that opportunity.
Kara o sa batla o tsamaya?
Ke ha you go Sundowns.
Eh.
Yeah, so but you never know, but
Yeah.
it's just a matter of the performance that I'm going to give there, but what I bona bjang. But I think personally I just have to bring my A game.
100%. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave us your comments. And this is the Pitchside Podcast.